So welcome everybody to the third video in the pink shirt. This is my video about 10, not the 10 best albums of 2020 regarding to music that was released last year. 10 albums that I really liked, that I really enjoyed. I haven't listened that much to music in 2020 as I usually do. I listen a lot to music, I go a lot to concerts here in the Stockholm area, and I've seen so many beautiful bands over the course of the years in smaller venues and bigger venues, from Pearl Jam and Bruce Springsteen and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the big venues to small venues and groups and bands like Yukon Blonde or Guillemots from the UK or Swedish artists like Säkert. A lot of different kinds of music that I really loved. And the last concert that I want to go, I come to that a little bit later, but here, a little excerpt. Here are the 10 albums that I would like to recommend to you of the year of 2020. Let's get started with them. Last year there came a live album by a guy who's a band leader who's only 34 years old. His name is Alex Turner, and he has written so many beautiful songs and so many great albums. So they did a live album last year in the Royal Albert Hall in London, England, and they are the Arctic Monkeys. This is from their album Live at the Royal Albert Hall, the Arctic Monkeys. Bands are not in particular order, I just listed them as I found them. The next artist is one of the artists that I really admire and love most right now. Loss, solitude, memory, regret are Adrienne Lenker's topics on these two beautiful albums that she released solo in the year of 2020. Adrienne Lenker songs and instrumentals. Adrienne Lenker is the head of the band Big Thief, which is the best band in the world. They are from New York City. They met in New York City. Adrienne is actually from Minnesota. She is a storyteller, a literary storyteller in her beautiful songs that she's done with Big Thief, and last year she did songs and instrumentals. I think that you can make a short story of every Adrienne Lenker song, always. I was so short of seeing her, it was so close to seeing her and the band play on March 24. This last year in 2020, I got the ticket. They were supposed to play at Hornstull Strand here in Stockholm, but then I got the text message from the band, which they send apparently to everybody who would attend the concert, and Adrienne wrote, "We would have so loved to play for you, but it's not possible." It's always when you hear Adrienne Lenker play the guitar and when you hear her sing, it's always like she's just sitting in your living room, or you sitting in her living room. It's so intimate, so beautiful, so close, and so authentic, and so full of poetry and of beautiful, beautiful stories. She is such a great talent, one of the greatest American songwriters I have ever listened to in my life. Adrienne Lenker, songs and instrumentals. The next artist I want to introduce here is an artist that I have seen live already in Stockholm at the Debaser Strand, where I would have loved to see Adrienne Lenker play and her band. This is Angel Olsen with her new album Whole New Mess. She's from Texas. She is one of the strongest feminist, I think, artists in the United States, and she has done an album with spare but electric songs as always. She is electric. She is going to sort of get you into her world, to get you into her sphere of music and of lyrics. And she's a very strong personality. I really adore Angel Olsen. We have great music today. And no music has ever sounded quite like it. They write about Fetch the Bolt Cutters by Fiona Apple.
And next year it'll be clear this was only leading me to that, and by that.
Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. The next album To hear the next album, we have to travel to one of the most beautiful cities on this planet. We have to travel to Vancouver in British Columbia in Canada, a city that I love to visit. 2000. I was there in 2018. It was such a beautiful meeting with this city. This artist has played for a band that comes from Vancouver, the New Pornographers, which is one of the greatest indie bands in the history of rock and roll. But he has made, I think, now 8 solo albums. He's the leader of the band, a band called Destroyer. His name is Dan Bejar or Dan Bejar. He sounds incredibly pensive too, which shouldn't be surprising given the circumstances in which his vocals were recorded. And this is very remarkable about this new album, Have We Met by Destroyer. He was sitting over a laptop at his kitchen table late at night, and he was recording the vocals for his new album. Actually, the recordings were intended to be a demo, but he liked them so much that he actually used them in the final process to for that album, Have We Met by Destroyer. Destroyer is always an artist. The band is always great, but Destroyer is more or less Dan Bejar or Dan Bejar. Yeah. We're not allowed to play many more seconds of this music, but just to give you a short idea in which direction we're going. And I also recommend all this stuff. So it is actually, I want you to buy it, to buy the music. And I want you to get out and listen to it and give the artist what he and she and what they deserve. The next band actually sounded to me, when I listened to the next band, I didn't know where they came from, so I thought they must be from Seattle, Washington, or from Portland, Oregon, where indie music has its heart right now, and a certain sound of indie. They sounded so Portlandish, so Seattle-ish, but they aren't. They are not even from the United States. They're not from the UK. They're not from Australia. They are from Shabadabang, Spain. They are from Madrid, and I'm talking about Heinz and their new album, The Prettiest Thing. Wonderful indie music that sounds so much American, but that is definitely Spanish but sung in English. Here are Heinz. Do 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 do. Heinz, Take Me Back, from their album The Prettiest. The next artist I'm so happy to talk about. She is such a great woman. She's such a great singer. The United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, they are so happy. They should be so lucky to have produced so many beautiful singers and songwriters over the years, female singers and songwriters over the years. And this next one is a singer that I have always loved, a singer-songwriter I always loved and adored from the very first album. But now she is sort of, she's mainstream popular among a lot of critics in the world. She has made her breakthrough with her, which is simply called What's Your Pleasure? From all the way from London, England, here is Jessie Ware. Jessie Ware, Save a Kiss, from her album What's Your Pleasure? A great artist from the city of London, England. We stay in England. There's another female singer-songwriter that I listened to in 2020. I didn't know her before, but she really got me with her new album. She is 34 years old. She's doing indie rock, jazz, post-punk, folk rock, if that's possible, in a mixture. Her name is Nadine Petra Katarina Shah, and she calls herself Nadine Shah. She has already made 4 albums, but it's her new album Kitchen Sink that really got through to me, and that really touched me. And I sort of pressed the favorite button on many of my Spotify several times when I listened to her album Kitchen Sink. Here is Nadine Shah. Nadine Shah, the song is called Club Cougar from her new album Kitchen Sink, one of my favorite albums of the year of 2020. 2020. For album number 9, we take a plane and go to the United States. We go all the way from Stockholm, Sweden to Los Angeles, California. The next artist is an artist who has made an album. She has made an album that is also consistently on many of the great top 10 lists everywhere, in all the magazines, on all the web pages that are important for modern music. She is only 26 years old, but she has been an issue in music for a couple of years already, and a very famous. She has made 2 albums. The first album was called Stranger in the Alps, which was her debut in 2017, and she already got a lot of attention for that. Now she is back in 2020 with her new album, which is called Punisher, and she is nominated for 4 Grammys on January the 31st at the Staples Center in Los Angeles for the year of 2021. So she can win 4 Grammys with her album Punisher. And here is Phoebe Bridgers. I had to make a little break in filming this because the camera got too hot and it needed some minutes to slow down, to cool down. The 10th and final album of the year 2020 that I would love to recommend to you is by a man who is already 79 years old. And maybe you will ask, what's this? Is this new music? Is this one of the best albums of 2020? I think it is one of the most talked about albums of 2020. In March 26, 2020, Bob Dylan released a 17-minute song, Murder Most Foul, on his YouTube channel that he had written some years ago. And this song went straight to the number 1 of the Billboard Rock Digital Song Sales chart, and was the first time ever that a single song by Bob Dylan went to the number 1. The Nobel Literature winner. So he is really one of the great poets of the United States. I think he is a very controversial figure at times, not always in the best mood when he gives concerts, I heard. I'd never seen him in concert, actually, but his new album, Rough and Rowdy Ways, which he did, I think it's his 39th album in his career, is incredible, raw and powerful. And The Guardian has written a beautiful... I think it was The Guardian. Yeah, Alexis Petridis wrote in The Guardian about the new album. For all its bleakness, Rough and Rowdy Ways might well be Bob Dylan's most consistently brilliant set of songs in years. The diehards can spend months unraveling the nuttier lyrics, but you don't need a PhD in Dylanology to appreciate its singular quality and power. I will just want to play a few seconds, because I'm not allowed to do more, from his song I Contain Multitudes from this album. I Contain Multitudes is a quote from Walt Whitman's poem Song to Myself, because the master Dylan is always inside very heavy intellectual thoughts, and we might not find those connections if we are not put towards them. Here is I Contain Multitudes, a short excerpt from that song.
Mustache, rings on my fingers that sparkle and flash. Tell me what's next.
This was album number 10 out of 10. I haven't listened, as I said, I haven't listened to all the albums I should and I wanted to listen to. So these were 10 albums that I really liked in the year of 2020. What were your favorites in the last year, music-wise? Please tell me all about it and write a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. We go back to the bookish things in the future. Of course we do, because this is primarily a book channel, but music is a thing that I really, really like a lot. Thank you very much for watching this video, and listen to the music all the time. Music was my first love and it will be my last. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.